So my first question for you today, Noe, is what makes 11 a perfect tool for professional practice?
I think the first thing is, we 11 is actually one of the few product that was designed by accountant with accountant. So when
Okay.
we started with two accounting firms right from the beginning, and we develop everything around the needs of accounting firms, and the needs of accounting firms are slightly different.
Hmm.
You need to manage multiple companies, you need to manage complicated transactions, you need to manage multiple currencies, and then the last one is, you need to provide reports for your clients. And so we
Hmm.
said, okay, let's design from the ground up a system which is organized in multiple application, with a client facing application where he can do everything we call the pre-accounting, which is, like getting all these invoices, sharing it with his accountant, doing all his own invoices, so, billing his clients. And then you have the accounting app, and the last one, which, is probably my favorite, is the BI. And the BI is an integrated business intelligence platform that allows you to design and customize any report, and then, have automatic sharing of those with your clients. So that's very different from the typical SME accounting firm application, the SME application that accounting firms are using.
Okay, awesome. Man, 11 definitely sounds like an intuitive software. Now, it's my understanding that client data migration is very important in the accounting realm. Can you kind of explain and elaborate on how 11 handles that?
Yeah, so the issue of migration is twofold. I mean,
Hmm.
there's first the data itself, but, the most difficult part
Hmm.
is around, how do you migrate habits? How do you migrate people that are used to certain tools? So to do this, we did it in two things. The first one is the migration of the data. We have an automated tool that migrates from, key leading accounting software from SME, like Xero's, QuickBook, so you can automatically migrate the data. And the second one is regarding how the software was designed. We have designed 11 so that it's very easy for any accountant to go around this task. This morning I did a training to a new client, and, they have 400 companies, and, there were about 8 accountants in the Zoom call, and within 2 hours they were able to completely run on 11. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
something also which we take very, very dearly.
Oh, wow. I mean, that sounds incredible. Now, moving on to bookkeeping, everyone wants to know about bookkeeping. What are the accounting features that sets 11 apart from the competition?
I think the first one is the first one where we are different is around what we call the general ledger in 11.
Hmm.
So if we look at a general ledger, let me show you. The general ledger is handled, a lot of transaction in a very, very quick manner. I mean, you see
Hmm.
that, we've just uploaded 850 transactions. Speed is everything for accountants.
Hmm.
You do have also a logic where, we have, if we take an account, for example, we have this client, we have this supplier, and this supplier is in Thai baht. You can see that the transactions here are recorded in Singapore dollar because the
Awesome.
company reports in Singapore dollar, but I can also see it in Thai baht, and I can see all my transaction in Thai baht. That structure for us was essential because it allows us to automate all the nitty complicate thing, which is, calculation of unrealized gain and loss, what's my potential revaluation, and all things like that. So
Yeah.
scalability and, features was a key element for us. We basically have no transaction limit. I mean, it's only the data we get from
That's
our
big.
clients. I think the largest company managed on 11 has, over 30,000 journal entries per year,
Okay.
which is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I mean, that's definitely seems like 11 has made some very big improvements from the last time we have talked. It seems like the ability to capture non-financial data makes 11 a game changer in accounting. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yeah, so the idea for us is, you obviously have, and we can go to the BI for that, but you obviously have typical financial data. I mean, this is your transaction. That's a structured data. It has to go into accounts. It has to go
Hmm.
into, dates and amounts, and, debits, credits. It's pretty standard. And then there's a lot of data that you also want to monitor as a company, and this data is typically type of non-structured data. For example, what's my what's the number of demos I'm doing on a monthly basis. It could be
Yeah.
sales KPI, it could be HR KPI, it could be also KPIs that relates to environment. So what we did is we created the software so that the BI can take information from the accounting, but we are also adding support to be able to take data from Google Sheets, which is unstructured.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So you will be able to build dashboards and report dashboards where you have your financial performance, and you could have, for example, your HR performance, your environmental performance. You could be tracking things which seems important for you, which is okay, we have a global goal in this company, which is to reduce our electricity consumption, and then you could be tracking the number of kilowatt hours you're consuming.
That makes sense. Now, in terms of, did I understand correct that you guys are not aiming to replace other cloud accounting applications, or do you guys work hand in hand? How does that work, Noe?
Yeah, so the idea for us is to say that as an accountant, I had that experience. I mean, I had 28 companies to manage in my group, and there were a lot of different countries, and you cannot use only one software to do everything, because you could have some legal requirements. And for example, our subsidiary in Vietnam, we had to use a Vietnamese software because you have to have a software which is approved by the Vietnamese authorities.
Wow.
So we have to be able to get that data from those softwares, which is financial data, into 11, and that's where the migration to that's where the tool is so useful, because that tool does that in an automated way, and then that data flows to the BI. So we can
Oh,
live in harmony with other software, and,
oh,
and that's something which is very important for us.
definitely, and that's what everyone wants nowadays, everything to work together. So it's my understanding that, 11 is ahead of terms in the latest technology trends. But what's next? Is blockchain next for you guys?
Yeah,
What's the next step?
I mean, I'll be really happy, and I think it's more for my other two co-founders to talk about blockchain, because those guys have been deep into blockchain for a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Both Boris and Cedric, but we designed the software right from the beginning with the idea that one day, we will do blockchain, but you can't do blockchain accounting before you do, standard accounting, because the rules are the
yeah.
same. You basically need to present financial statement, report income, report losses, and calculate potential gains and losses. So the technological choice that we have made have been essential when we designed this 11. We started designing 11 4 years ago.
Mhm,
This is the second version, which is the one you're saying now.
mhm.
We started working on it 2 years ago. So from the ground up, we could take technologies like, people like Zero, which is a 14-year-old technology, cannot take. So we only use, for example, immutable ledgers. So it means that when you write something in 11, you can never edit it. You can never delete it. And this is exactly the same as the blockchain.
Yeah.
So the core technology under 11 follow that.
No, that's
And
awesome to hear. I mean, you guys are definitely ahead of the curve there. My last question for today, Noe, is when are you guys going to roll out crypto accounting? I know the market's not doing too well right now, but that's something people are looking for. So what are the plans with that?
So the plan for us when we look at our roadmap is we have things until we're pretty clear until August on what we need to deliver. But the idea is that Q4 of this year is when we are going to roll out crypto accounting. We will start with the crypto accounting part, which is how do you manage cryptos, which are a type of currency, but that behave differently. It has up to 19 digits compared to 2 for normal fiat currencies. So there are a lot of technical things we need to manage. But that would be a first step, and we aim to do that quite quickly. I mean, the system is developed in microservices, so it's not too complicated to make changes. But the very ambitious project is to support accounting for DAO, and that's that's the follow up after we do crypto.